Good morning, everyone. I believe today is day 16 of the federal shutdown, and there is no indication of when it may end. And so wanted to just briefly update you that the longer it continues, obviously, the more significant and widespread the consequences will be. We need to switch. Somebody didn't like the information about the shutdown. We're actively monitoring the situation, of course, and have asked employees to notify their supervisors and Office of Research Services if is additional shutdown correspondence. I think I told you last time there are thousands of our employees that are either fully or partially paid for with federal dollars. And that includes many of our veterans, of course. And we are assessing continuously our ability to cover the payroll for those individuals. The past practice and certainly statutory practice has been to reimburse universities at the end of shutdown for any prepaid federal salary. In this case, President Trump has indicated that may not be the case, but there is countervailing law. So obviously, just as an awareness point, we are paying attention. Challenge really is one primarily of cash flow. It is upwards of $20 million a month. $20 million a pay period every 2 weeks in order to do that. So we believe we are in good shape through the end of the month, but we'll obviously continuously reassess that. So stay tuned. Also wanted to give you the current number of the current impact from federal grants. At this point, we have 81 that have been terminated. And that is over $108 million in funding that has been lost to the university. So obviously, that is a big deal for us, in particular in the Title III space. Just to reassure you, it looks like we have a year to spend down most of those terminated grants. And so that gives us a little time to figure out what we do next. We are assessing priorities, impacts, what is student facing. And then once we have all of the information from the campuses, we will get together and identify a unified approach that endorses a standard of care across all of our campuses rather than simply being a response that's dictated by individual campus resources. So stay tuned for that. Wanted to let you know that we held a virtual forum last week on Monday on the UH Manoa budget and the overall budget process. I think some of you were able to participate or watch that. And the 97-minute session drew 470 viewers, and an additional 250 or so have watched since then. I mention it to you because it was important that we clarify actions that we've taken previously as it relates to the CERD. You've heard the reference to the CERD. There was a mistaken understanding that that was a sweeping of funds that were held at the campus level. And in fact, there was a Board of Regents. There is a Board of Regents policy as well as an administrative policy to maintain 16% of our balances in reserve for financial exigency, for major strategic initiatives, and those things must be approved by you all before we actually expend them. So what we did was not sweep money and take to the central system. We put it in a central depository to ensure that we were able to utilize that and act upon it in this highly evolving situation. So now some of the money was held interchangeably with cash reserves. And so there was a feeling that there was some loss of flexibility on the campus, and we're addressing that in real time as we go. But did want to let you know about that. Also, as our continuing efforts to ensure transparency across the system, we've developed Budget 101 modules that Calbert Young has put together, a 4-part series really aiming to ensure that the next generation of leaders and people who are currently in place fully understand what is an extraordinarily complex process, as you know, from the seats that you have. So we're very, very proud of that, and those are available to anyone who is interested in watching them. Also wanted to let you know that last week, I think it was last week, we had town halls at UH West Oahu and Leeward Community College to talk about Chancellor Peñalosa's holding both of those positions pending your approval today. The goal of the forum was really to address concerns at the front end that may have arisen from that, and to stress very clearly that we are at the beginning of a process of dialogue and conversation, and that where we go from here really depends on what the community is excited about, what opportunities are out there, and what type of innovation we can drive for the UH system. So really appreciated the folks who came out for that. I do think, and I think the sense was by the time we left, that this really is an opportunity. There is no reduction in force planned of any kind. It's not about creating efficiencies by losing people. It's really about gaining strategy and effectiveness by partnering together more closely by two already aligned institutions. Also wanted to report to you something we're really excited about and really proud about. This past Monday, we launched the first major initiative that I actually talked about a year ago today. I believe my interview was a year ago today with you all. I'm having flashbacks, little trauma. But happy to say that we delivered on this one that we talked about, and that is Direct2UH, which was developed in partnership with the Hawaii's Department of Education. And I think, as you probably saw from the news, where there are lots of coverage we're really excited about, this is an attempt to really eliminate those barriers between seniors in our DOE schools and matriculating into UH institutions. It essentially is a form of automatic admissions. Everyone is admitted who graduates as a senior through their hard work to one of our community colleges, and anyone who is able to secure a 2.7 or above also has an offer of a placement at UH West Oahu and UH Hilo. Next year, we plan to add UH Manoa. We couldn't do it this year in time to launch it. And I will say the only negative feedback that we've received is from folks who are asking why weren't we included in terms of charter schools, and some private schools have reached out. And be assured that we are working on that. The reason we couldn't launch these things these falls is we share data with the Department of Education that we didn't have access to on a short-term turnaround. So stay tuned for that. I want to thank my team who worked extraordinarily hard to launch this, and we are really excited to see where this takes us. And then finally, I wanted to mention that UH Manoa has once again been recognized as one of the best universities in the world by Times Higher Education World University Rankings, the Wall Street Journal, and US News and World Report. We don't bank our excellence based on external rankings, but it never hurts. And we appreciate being recognized. So my sincere congratulations to everyone, faculty, staff, and our community who've been involved with that.